2,000 years later.
Family, how are you? Here we are again, MotherDaughterCruisers.
Yes.
It's a little late.
We are very late. Like the intro said, 100 years later, what is that?
Centuries, 2,000 years later, but you know, as the young people say, life be life and
yes, life be life,
whatever that is.
But we keeping our promise.
Yes, and here we are. We have a lot of stuff we've been thinking about and want to tell you guys about. And again, I guess we should say we're sorry we took so long.
Yes.
But there was a lot going on with us, you know.
Right.
With a lot of
Sorry, y'all.
As we want to keep busy.
I'm trying to get this table.
We want to give you a synopsis, I should say, and we just want to go over our cruise, what we promised.
I'm sorry. I need something to lean on.
Lean on me.
Lean on me.
But anyway, again, hi family.
Hi.
We're here. Finally, we're back. We want to really give you our overview, our end of the year synopsis of our 2023 cruise that we waited so long to go on.
Right.
And you know, we've posted videos, as most of you have seen, you know, but we want to just give you the conclusion of the whole matter.
Oh.
You know, you know, sort of like a day-by-day synopsis, you know.
Right.
I keep saying that word, but yeah, we just want to let you know what we really felt, what we, you know,
what we thought about.
All the processes
right.
and everything we went through, you know, as the videos already show you, boarding day was this way, and you know, what did we think of it, you know. And here we are.
Here we are. So we wanted to keep our promise, like Mom said. I know, and you guys are so funny, by the way. Like I appreciate y'all's comments. We appreciate y'all's comments because y'all be funny. Like y'all be like, well, what happened to this? Well, we still waiting.
Listen, you know, hello.
We thank God for y'all. Y'all keep our comment section lit,
popping.
Yes. And we appreciate it. It makes us feel good to know that you're interested in our content, you're interested in our opinion. And that's basically what we're going to do in this video today. So let's just get right into it. Y'all all know we went for the very first time together on the Norwegian Joy in August of this year. And it was our first experience, as you saw in day one. Day one was pretty good.
Yeah.
We were excited. The timing of it, we got there in pretty decent time. We ran into friends and family friends that we consider family. They just got off the ship and we were about to get on the ship.
Yeah, that was great.
So shout out to the Pollard family. We love you guys. And then, you know, we just was excited. We just, you know, as you'll see, I'll probably try to insert possibly something here where you'll see us like just making our way in, you know, just excited, taking pictures of the ship, just excited to get on board. And then it was just trying to just get ready for the rest of our journey.
You can imagine how we must have felt, you know, and I'm sure we expressed it probably somewhere to some degree that we waited for this day, for that day for so long, you know,
because of COVID.
2019 all the way up to 2023, you know, we waited so long just to be able to take part and be on a cruise. So we were just excited. I know I was like a little kid.
Yes,
you know,
Mommy
I was
love it.
So happy, you know, just to be going on a cruise and just to be there and experience it and to run into people we knew once we saw at some point that they were on the ship, they were getting off when we were getting on. It was all excitement. Boarding was good. It was, I don't think we had any hiccups. It was very nice.
I think it went pretty fast.
Very, you know, as you can see from the Embarkation video, that went fine.
And we went live for the first time while we were waiting.
We did a little live, little snippet.
We never did it. We went live on YouTube, so check that out.
Yeah.
Just wanted to experience that. And some of you were able to jump on really quickly before we were before our number was called.
Right.
To get on.
And that was pretty much
it was fast,
the beginning of day one. It was pretty fast because I think even in that video I do mention that I think that was the earliest we've been on board. Compared with the last cruise we went on, it was the earliest we've been on board. We were going somewhere on the steps, I think, when I mentioned that.
Yeah.
And the embarkation, the check-in was like wonderful
check-in was
compared to what we've
swift.
done on previous cruises. You know, find your muster station, and they're just standing there hoping somebody would come.
Right.
1, 2, 3. Yeah,
And that's you can see that in the video as
Yes.
well on our boarding.
That's on YouTube.
We didn't get a lot of that, but basically they asked us our names. And I told them that we looked at the video,
Yeah, we had to look at the
and I was
video.
being playful with the person. I don't know
Yes,
what
yes.
their title is
I don't know
officially.
if they're a steward or whatever
Right.
they're called or whatever.
But I mentioned some key points about how to put your life vest on. He was like,
Yeah,
very
which
good,
was
very
good.
good. And he was like, oh, so you're good. And they checked our name, and I was like, that's it? Y'all heard me say, that's it?
Yeah. So
He was like,
basically
yeah. We've never experienced a muster like that. We wasn't
And
even
you know, over
in
the
a room.
over the months, we've heard that this is how musters have been going on a lot of cruise ships. You know, you don't have to do, a whole lot of dragged out, bunched up into a big room with hundreds of people. and
Right,
all
which
that.
is typically what
Which is great.
we experience.
But then remember, also, if you guys look at that video, we don't want to stay on this too long because we're going to cover some other stuff too. But just if you remember, as we were walking, the announcement came over.
We're going to try to insert that.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? At this moment in time, there are still 900 guests who have not checked in their Sunday station.
How many?
Any guests who have not checked at this time, please proceed to your Sunday station. It is mandatory requirement that all guests attend their Sunday station until 3:30.
Did she say
Your
900?
Sunday station is noted on the key card as letter A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. The location of your master stations are as follows. Station A, Joy Diablo, located on deck 7 forward. Station B, District.
That many people just don't bother to go, and they have to pretty much almost threaten.
Right, and I think we recorded it twice when the person came on and made an announcement. If you listen clearly, you might even hear our response to that announcement, like, what? But yeah, that was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness. And at that point, we were like still, it was pretty like a few hours later, and people still
Yeah,
did
it was
not.
a while, and so well, just go.
Just get it over
And that's why
with.
they shut things down. So if you don't have anything to do, you don't have a choice but to go to your muster so it can open back up. But anyway, that's enough of that.
Right.
Yes, that was so. Day one was really a breeze. It was exciting because
Smooth
you're,
transition.
yes, you're ready to go and see what's up.
And you saw we got our ninja on. We had to sneak, and you know, Mom, that's like a tradition. She likes to see if we can peek and get a head start on what our cabin looks like, where it's located,
Yeah, let's
before we technically get access to the room. Because usually at that point, they're still making up the beds, making sure everything is tidy and clean and whatnot from the previous guests.
Right.
But that's something we tend to do every
Yes,
time.
It's nice. This just in case it's ready and they didn't get to announce it yet. Whatever. But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to do that. Take a
Yeah.
little sneak peek.
So that part of the Norwegian Joy was okay.
Yes, it was. Embarkation was an excursion for like different reasons. But one thing that was nice, I have to say, about Norwegian in general, they have a complimentary shuttle or
Yes.
ferry that takes you across to different. I think they have one for Hamilton,
They did.
but we went to St.
Saint
George. They have
George.
one for St. George, which is further. We didn't even realize that.
I was
I
like,
didn't realize how far.
we was on the boat, and we was like, wait a minute. It seemed like it's taking us a long time
Yeah,
to get to the other side.
It did. I think it's 45 minutes at least to get from the pier over to St. George.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes it worth mentioning is that they provide that. So if you
Yeah,
didn't have an excursion,
That was nice.
you could still have it because people had excursions on St. George.
That's true. They did.
So once they took the ferry over to St. George, then they got on the excursions. But we also noticed that a lot of our cruise members were doing their own personal walking tours, like we decided to do.
A lot of people. So
And
we
it
didn't
was
feel
nice.
so. Because you know me, I'm like, we ain't doing nothing.
No.
And I was like, you know, okay. And Mama was like, no, this is what we do.
Good. This is what we do.
We exploring. Just like when we was in Puerto Rico that time. We walked around, went to the castle. Everybody loved it.
That was
so
amazing.
It was like, you know, I wanted to make sure we gave you guys like good content, but we couldn't predict, you know, we don't have no control over the weather and things like that.
Yeah, because we kept getting rain and shine while we were there.
Exactly. And y'all saw y'all saw clips of that. We'll post a clip here if possible. And when we were walking and it started raining on us while we were walking, so we started heading back to the pickup point for the ferry to take us back.
Yes.
But before we even got back, it stopped raining.
It started raining.
It stopped and started, stopped and started, you know. So that was how that day went. And on the way back, it was just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, the weather just turned completely. You know?
I mean, we just being us. We was like, listen, we gonna make our own fun, you know, okay? And y'all, it's just we stayed in that rain. Y'all saw how we was acting.
That video day too.
Oh my goodness! I'ma see if I don't want to keep putting clips in this whole video, but we'll see.
We're gonna just let you go.
Yeah, we'll let you find it. It was hilarious.
Some more
and we kept laughing at each other, but it's like that's how we do. Like we make the best out of everything, and we wanted you guys to join us in that moment. Because I was going to turn the camera off, but then when we saw people was running from the rain, I said, I'm not getting them no more, because now we all going to be bunched in that little room down below. I said, it's just a little rain, but then it started coming down a little harder, and we were like, wait a minute.
Hoping that we wouldn't get sick, but we still stayed there. Again, like we said, watch video of day 2. But yeah, we make the most of it, and we like to be silly and have a good time, and you know. Hopefully we didn't get sick from sitting in the rain, but it was still warm. It just was raining. It wasn't hot, but it wasn't.
Yeah, we wasn't
like it was
freezing.
cold.
Yeah,
and we had to get out of the rain. We just got a little wet. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all. But that's the day. That, you know, so you know, as I mentioned earlier, that you know we are dealing with this hurricane that was in that area, wondering how it was going to affect our time on the Norwegian Joy.
Right.
You know, which it did affect it in many ways, other than just the weather. Because of the weather, there were things we couldn't do outdoors. There were things we couldn't see. We couldn't go up on the deck and watch the laser tag.
Right. It was so windy and rainy.
It was raining. It was wet.
Yeah.
We didn't have deck parties. We didn't have.
It was
you know,
a lot of things.
It was. You wonder how you're going to manage and enjoy your trip anyway when over a couple of thousand people are confined to within the ship. You know, but we managed, and we didn't let that get us down so much.
Exactly. Because
that was day 2 is when the weather took the turn for the worse, and especially that night.
Yeah, that night was,
you know, because it did rain that day early in the morning when people were actually leaving the ship to go on their excursions right at the wharf.
It was. It sure was.
It rained very hard, and then it stopped, and it was just that way all the time. Well, the whole time. That day,
off and on,
off on, sun come out, yay. Cloudy, rain again. And
right.
It's hard. It was really hard to kind of make a decision of what you really wanted to do if you were going to be outside.
And as you'll see, when we were leaving the ship to go to St. George, we were surprisingly saw how many people was online to get on the free ferry. Like I knew people might be online, but I don't know. I guess I didn't expect to see that many people waiting online.
Yeah, but then again, remember, like I said before, some of those people had excursions on St. George.
That's true. So they probably was taking advantage of the free ride.
Right. That was their way to get to their excursion.
That's true. That's true.
And then people that just wanted to get off the ship.
I know. We just been on the ship dealing with whatever, and then even if it was rainy, it was still nice to just get some fresh air and be on solid ground.
Yes.
Even if you didn't stay out for long, it was an option.
So, you know, if we want to give, I don't know if we want to do that here, give a critique of what was going to replace or not replace, but what was Norwegian going to do to give us activities for the time for all the people that had to spend most of their time on board. And I think that one of those things was lacking, you know, was as far as activities. Because sometimes, even when cruise ships make port stops, there's always a lot of stuff. Well, we're accustomed to having a lot of stuff to do on board, regardless of whether you get off or not. There's so much stuff going on
for you to do. Yeah.
But we didn't find that was the case with Norwegian.
Yeah, that
Joy.
was kind of lacking in our opinion.
Yeah.
Despite the weather, I think in general, we didn't think that there was enough activity on board. Like I said, we're accustomed to being on Carnival. That's all we have to compare Norwegian to, and that's what we like. Even if we don't always get a chance to participate in said activities, we observed so many things going on when we were on Carnival. There was bingo, there was this, there was that. You know, even I'm talking about inside the ship, not necessarily outside.
The indoor activities.
It was always something to do, and they had certain things, but it seemed like it was sporadic.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a consistent flow, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's something that we did notice. Like we were always just, exploring the ship, which is good. Based upon our pre-boarding, we knew what to look for because we watch other people's videos.
Right, exactly.
So those were things we were looking for, so that we can experience that and give our opinion. But in doing that, we were like, well, what else?
So what do we do now?
Like, okay.
And you didn't get that with Carnival, and I have to throw it out there and say what it is. But it's one thing when you have to decide, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because we're going to go here. But this starts at this time. You have to make a decision about the things you want to do.
Just remember that.
Yeah.
Go on.
If we go here, we won't be able to go here because this starts at 6:30 and that one starts at 6:45. So what should we do? Should we go eat because the show is going to start before we finish eating? It's a dilemma, but at least you have options. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Like we got to hurry up and eat because
we need to go here.
So we want to see the show, which brings me to my plight.
Your plight, girl.
My issue when we talk about shows, I really wanted to see.
Tell it.
Okay.
Tell it.
Okay.
We don't like that.
I really wanted to see, what was it called? The water show?
Elements?
The Elements?
Elements, I think. And they had, what was the other show?
I don't know, because that wasn't.
And so all this, we had to get online.
I said, hold on. How you going to tell us to come join us for this, come join us for that? And every time we try to use the app, first of all, the app wasn't working right.
The app was terrible.
The app was horrible. I'm sorry, Norwegian.
But the truth is the truth.
The app was horrible. We trying to do, follow the rules and regulations. If you would like to, see a show, we recommend use the app. Make a reservation or you go to reservation desk. But then when doing suggested thing, the app didn't work. And then by the time I went to the desk to inquire, it always booked. It sold out the whole trip. I was so disappointed. We didn't get to see not one show.
And
the whole trip.
We just didn't want to be bothered.
I really wanted to see the show. That was the main thing that they used to advertise the most. The flipping and the dipping and they jump in the water and all that stuff. Like, I wanted to see that.
The flipping and the dipping.
Flipping and the dipping. So I was just disappointed that they was telling us how to make a reservation, but then I couldn't make a reservation.
Yeah.
And then by the time I tried to get a reservation, it's full, it's packed. Like, come on. And then it was like, all right, what now? What do we do now?
Yeah, it was. You can't say it enough. The ship is absolutely beautiful.
It is. It really
is.
It's
a beautiful ship. And had things gone differently, wonderful weather, you just could feel it. But it took away, the weather takes away so much when it just goes bad. You can't be on the deck, you can't sunbathe, you can't go up on the upper decks to see the other activities. I think the Joy has the
racetrack, the laser tag.
Thank you.
But that particular day, it was so packed. Remember, we had to keep, excuse me. I don't even think we put that on camera. I think that's one of the days that I didn't have my camera out because it was just, I wasn't feeling well.
Excuse me.
I wasn't feeling well. And it was like, I think that was the day, that might have been day 5 or one of those days. Because remember, some of you guys were like, What happened to
What happened
Day 5? So since we're talking about it,
Well, day 5 actually was, I think, when we were.
I wasn't feeling good either.
Yeah, I think that was. Oh no, when we were bouncing around, we headed back.
We bounced
to New
around
York
a few times,
We
but
were heading back on.
no, we wasn't
day
heading.
6.
We were still in limbo.
We trying to remember because so much stuff was.
Yeah, we still were kind of in limbo. Because remember, we were supposed to have already. That was supposed to be our day.
Because what it was, the weather was. That was the day the weather was horrible.
Right, and
Because we were still there.
and he gave us another announcement that night that we were, and we shared that video with you. That we found out that we weren't leaving when we thought we were going to leave.
Yeah, we had to do, and I think what it was, we were supposed to be back in New York on Monday.
And we came back on
We wouldn't
Tuesday.
get back, and we had to let us know we're not going to be back in New York till Tuesday. So
Right.
imagine what guest services looked like. And I will give them Norwegian Joy credit for the way they did handle some of the issues by opening up Wi-Fi to everyone.
Yes, they
for a
gave us
certain
free
amount of
Wi-Fi.
time for everybody to be
Yeah.
able to make calls, send messages, and utilize their services, to try to resolve.
They opened up the
changes.
phone
They
if
opened
you
up
wanted
the phone,
to.
like there was phones you could
Yes,
use
to
make
call
calls,
family and stuff.
change flights,
Yes.
and onboard credits.
Yes,
added
we
to
did.
everybody.
We did get an onboard credit, so
I
kudos.
give them kudos for that. Yes,
Yes.
they did handle that nicely.
Oh, God.
You know. Video playing in the background. It's okay. But yeah, so they did what they could. But I mean, what can you do? The weather is the weather.
Yeah.
And you take a chance, just like some people were saying to the people that were getting really irate.
Yeah.
What do you want to just? You want them to send the military in to fly you off? They're not going to do that. So
Right.
it's a chance you take because number one, I think we mentioned it before that when you schedule a cruise in the height of hurricane season, which August tends to be,
Yeah.
you take your chances. And I think I also voiced my opinion that if I had to rethink it I am a parent, but if I were a parent with a young child that had to be in school the day after the cruise, and I'm scheduling a cruise during hurricane season, I think I would really rethink that.
Me too.
Because you take chances. If it wasn't the cruise ship, when you get back, it could have been weather in your flight. If you're in your flight, it couldn't affect anything. You take a chance. It's a roll of the dice. And I think I also mentioned that our cruises that we've been on have mostly been in hurricane season.
Yeah.
I think we only went on maybe one cruise that was not. It was in June.
July, yeah.
We took a cruise in June, and all
Right.
the other cruises we've been on always been in August.
Right.
Maybe some not as late in August as others, but August into September was the last cruise we went on. I think was August into September,
Right.
coming back on Labor Day.
And it's just because of how things were, like what's available.
You take what's available. So yeah, we could do that, know, and it's a chance you take. And as I said, my heart went out to all the people that have so many things that were knocked off the rails because of being in Bermuda for an extra day,
Right.
and getting back to New York late. But that's the chance you take.
But with that, it was just
we got back safe.
But with that, I think what we started saying was that the communication was pretty good at that point. But then it started slacking a little bit. That's one thing that we did notice that we wanted to make sure that we mentioned. We would appreciate it. We would have appreciated it more if they stayed on top with the communication, especially when it was time for us to leave. But we'll get to that soon. Another thing we wanted to talk about was food. We enjoyed the food. I did a quick little reel about some of the foods that we enjoyed. So I hope you guys enjoyed that snippet. It was just, we were really impressed with that. We were talking about it.
impressed with the food. Yes.
We were talking about it before we started this video. Like, one of our favorite moments, well, for me anyway, was when Mom tried Indian food for the first time. I've had Indian food before. I was just skeptical as to whether or not it was going to be really authentic.
Yes.
But it was absolutely authentic. It was absolutely amazing. I had a kick out of watching Mom have butter chicken.
Chicken and rice.
It is not just chicken and rice. This is like an experience.
Cafe, and
Exactly.
It
was good.
That. Yes.
It was good.
It was. And the crepes.
Yeah, the crepes were good too.
Yes.
I never had them that big before, but they were
So
really
they were gonna be
good.
round.
Yeah, they have. You can make them different ways, but they were really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
The ice cream. Y'all know we love us some ice cream. It's like okay. Even the 24-hour ice cream, they had gelato. The ice cream they had a little section where you gotta go and ask.
You get a scoop
And the server, he has to do it for you. You can't just
There's no
do it
grabbing.
yourself. There's no grabbing. It was just good. We enjoyed the one chicken tender I had.
There she goes with the chicken
Child,
tender.
got me all worked up with that daggone spicy chicken tender. But anyway,
I will give it to Norwegian for the food.
the food was really good.
Really, really good.
And we stayed we stayed at the Garden Cafe the most.
Because when you go to the Garden Cafe and you see the variety of things, for me the thing is, I wonder what they have today. You just
have
never
to
go
know.
and see what they had, especially after the Indian food.
I know. I didn't want nothing
So
else after
good. It
that.
was so good. And then you wonder what else are they going to present,
Right.
The next time. So at
Right.
least you get a chance to.
And they have
go and
staples,
see.
like most ships. They have their staples.
Yeah, burgers, fries.
Because of the kids and things like that. You have burgers, fries, hot dog, pizza, which was all connected on the same line.
Very good.
And then behind us, on the opposite side, was like the salads, and I was impressed that they had hummus and things like that, because they had a whole hummus station, which I was so impressed with, because what you said?
Nothing.
She don't like hummus. We had tacos that were really good. We met some really nice people. One thing that we didn't get to record that was a part of the day 5 situation was we were invited to church.
Oh yeah.
We were like, okay.
We were up really early one morning,
Mm-hmm.
and we said, "What in the world?" So we went down to the local
Again.
which is another place. It's excellent.
Very good.
And the only thing is, as I can interject before we get to the church,
Okay. Okay.
is that we never did go back in the afternoon to get some of that afternoon lunch food.
They was like, you gotta try that
It's
chicken.
like you can't. It's hard to make up your mind.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would give it to Royal. Excuse me.
Norwegian.
About their food, the restaurants and stuff is everything they say. The local was excellent. The breakfast was so elegant. And
Customer
nice.
service.
Everyone is so nice, and the food was there. We just didn't get a chance to go back
During the lunch.
During the lunch, because we went.
We did breakfast twice.
Yeah, we did breakfast twice, but we didn't go back there for lunch, which we started to, but we changed our mind. I think we went somewhere else. I don't know. I forgot what we went to the cafe again. I think.
Yeah. Because we kept hearing, you got to go to the local because their wings are so good. Their wings and the burgers. I said, well, what makes it different from... And I'm like, well, is it different from...
Something about the dessert there, too, I think.
And you know what else we said? We said...
What did we say?
We was like, okay, hold on now. Why did orange juice and the apple juice taste way better? I said, it's not right. It's not right. Their apple juice and their orange juice is totally different than when you go to the cafe. I said, this is some school. The cafe was like, this is some school lunch apple juice. Public school apple juice, orange juice. Served. And we sat down at the local. I was like, let me get the apple juice with it. I was like, I said, Mommy, taste this apple juice.
I said,
it was like 100%.
It was delicious.
I said, let me find out. Why they do that?
It's so good.
Why they do that?
I don't know.
Why?
But it was
very good. It was very good.
So I personally, I'm going to cut you off, daughter.
No, because I want to. We don't want to take this. We don't want to make it too long.
Yeah, because generally speaking, how do we think about the food on Norwegian Joy? I was very impressed.
We were very impressed.
I love the food on Norwegian Joy. It's
yes.
excellent.
And we brought food back. Like you saw how we act with them fries in the video.
Oh my goodness!
They said they taste like McDonald's fries, but they were right. They do taste like McDonald's fries. They were hot, not too salty, fresh. Just like sometimes we're not hungry, but we want a snack.
Just a little snack.
We go right and get the French fries. Yep. And before we get off the food and stuff like that, we also found out that we wanted some cookies. We was like, okay, now when we was on Carnival, we
That's a
always see
secret
like
cookie.
cake and cookies and stuff. We was like, we don't see no cookies. So we met a nice couple when we were eating, and we were just talking about cookies. He was like, another person next to us said, oh, I could tell you about the cookies. Me and my son, he had a whole
big plate of cookies.
He was like, this is what he told us. He said, y'all gotta ask for them. I said, we gotta ask for the cookies. So he was giving us, it was like a Indiana Jones National Treasure experience. Okay. He was like, okay, so you know where, it was like a map. He said, so you know where you go to get the Jello and this and this and that. So you go around the corner, right? And then you want to see another station that has like, you know, fruit and stuff. You gotta ask them for cookies. When you say cookies, they gonna go into this little refrigerator.
Little oven.
It was no, when he opened it, it was like a little drawer.
Like a little, you know, thing.
I said, me and my mother was like,
took out this whole tray.
It was like this big old refrigerator,
cookies,
and he opened it and
dark
slipped.
chocolate
He was like, "What kind do you want?"
macadamia
Oatmeal
cookies,
raisin.
oatmeal
Now them
raisin, chocolate.
oatmeal raisin ones. Girl, we was like, I have never. I said, I wish I would have recorded that.
Yeah.
It was funny though, but you know they were nice about it. We wasn't sure why they had it set up that way.
It was strange, very strange. But
I was like, you gotta ask for the cookies.
you gotta ask for cookies, but
How many do you want?
all of them. Give me the whole tray.
I was like, let me get 2. Let me get 3 of those. Let me get 2. But they were really good though. So
it was really good. So we enjoyed the food.
the food was
so
yeah.
The staff was very funny and very, walking into the garden cafe, washy, and they played their little tambourine with the frills on it to give, make it fun. Of course, lots of people just walking through, but
But it was a good way to
yourself.
remind. That's right. It was a good way to remind people to still
Wash your
stay
hands.
cleanly. How you say it? Cleanly,
Clean.
clean.
And that's it.
Wash them hands.
Wash your hands. Don't be sticking your hand in stuff.
Okay.
But anyway,
Wash them.
They were so cute and funny.
But
so.
yeah, that was good. And now we're getting down to the wire of us actually heading back to New York. And
Oh my God.
it was
Let's ask them a
You
question.
go ahead. You go
Let's
ahead.
ask them a question.
family, OMDC.
What do you think happened on that last sea day going back to New York, and the sun is out and the sky is clear and it's 80 degrees? What do you suppose happened on the cruise?
Leave a comment down below. Okay.
Wake up in the morning and the sun is bright and
And
shining.
we like, oh my God.
Yes.
The sun, we finally getting the heat and the sun.
Because we slept. I think we slept
Yeah,
a
we
little
were-
longer.
we were
that
tired.
last morning. And that's the day we did go to the American Diner.
American Diner,
for
yeah.
breakfast, and we just made it because it was getting late. It was almost cutoff time for breakfast, and I wanted breakfast, not lunch. And that was the day. It was so beautiful. It was the best day of the entire cruise.
It was so hot, clear blue skies.
Last sea day.
The very last sea day.
What do you suppose happened?
What do you think happened?
Watch that video.
Watch that video and let us know.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Definitely, because one of the things that I think we might have
Oh,
mentioned it
yeah.
before. One of the cons, instead of the pros and cons, the cons on the Norwegian Joy was that we're used to being able to go to the little shopping areas. There was one little round little spot, and then they just take out stuff and throw it up there, and people look. It was just ew, like
It wasn't set up
t-shirts,
nice.
They had their little 2 for 20 or 2 for 30, whatever sale with t-shirts, but it was like all the t-shirts would pretty much look the same. There's no variety of stuff like hats and like Carnival opens up an entire mall. It looks like
Right.
almost.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but in that moment when you were talking about that, it reminded me of how right across from there, where they usually have like the mugs and they mix it and they fuse it with pocketbooks and purses, they also had perfume and stuff in the same store, and
everything was just,
it was too much perfume. Like I was getting a headache.
Oh yes, you did.
Remember?
I remember. Yeah.
I was like, did somebody break the bottle or something? Because
Maybe.
I was like, Mommy, I can't go back in the store. Like I can't go back in the store. I'm gonna stand over here because it was like they crammed everything in one store,
and it was so few.
And then it was it wasn't a lot
that you
of
would even want.
Right.
You know, if you go on a cruise, you know, I don't. I mean, some people, that's their lot. That's what they want to do. They want to go on a cruise and buy high end stuff because they don't have to pay any taxes.
Right, and that's cool.
But that's fine if that's what you want to do. But then there's people, you're on a cruise. It's a vacation.
Right. You got
And
to accommodate everybody.
The thing that you do on vacation is you look for like little trinkets and souvenirs to take home. Or if you look at, there was none of that really. Just had like one little rack with a couple. I think they might have had a couple of keychains.
Oh, the keychains were sparse.
And then
the little thing you turn around.
They had cups. You know how sometimes, I don't know about you guys where you live, you can go in the store sometime and you can tell when the store is poorly stocked because they push the things to the front of the shelf.
And ain't nothing behind it.
Make it look like there's a lot and there's nothing. That's pretty much how they arrange the
Yeah.
mugs and things. There's like 5 mugs on the big shelf, so they arrange. It was very few things that you could choose from. We did find something we did like.
Because like you said, they put them out in the front where they was usually sell like watches and stuff.
Yeah, so few.
Very
But
we
shopping.
support it.
It makes it interesting when you're able to walk into a shopping area, you know, to look at and see what kind of different souvenirs and things they had. And even candies and cakes and stuff, like, oh my God, they used to have one. Remember like the cakes and stuff they used to have in the shopping area, and then they had the t-shirts and hats and mugs.
It was so many options. It was cherry on top.
Flip flops, and cherry on top is one candy store with ice cream.
But
and
they
all that
had
stuff.
like t-shirts, and even in there you could get a couple of souvenirs if you wanted to. Like they were
to
options.
me, that makes it fun when you have
Right.
stuff to look at on the cruise ship like that. But they very lacking in that area. At least how much money they could have made while we were stuck on the ship during the hurricane if they had all these shops.
That's another
for
thing
people
I was
to
going to say. That was another thing I was going to say. I don't think they thought about that because being that we couldn't go out and there was so many people on the ship, that was a great opportunity for them to start putting stuff out there.
Concessions could make money.
Yes.
They could have had another sale to, you know, for the sale on the sale.
The sale on the sale. Bring that stuff out. Like, I didn't see
T-shirts
nothing like
and stuff
that.
like
They
that.
kept talking about art. Nobody want no art. I'm sorry. Maybe you do, but no. Like,
You know,
with Carnival,
so-
they stayed advertising T-shirts. Like, T-shirts on this day, and then when it's time to go back home, it was like,
Closer
oh,
it got.
2 for $5. You better get that 3, 4, 5. You get one free.
And to me, it makes it fun because a lot of people,
Like, oh, girl.
you can really.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to spend like $900.
I just felt like they missed the mark with that. Like
Yeah,
they could have
See,
capitalized. They could have capitalized on that moment.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
too.
they could have capitalized on that. I mean, it may not seem like a big deal to y'all, but maybe to some people, little things that we're talking about makes a difference, especially when you're somebody that cruises often. I think that's all we don't want to make this video too long, but again, this is our recap video. And we just wanted to give y'all our honest opinion about certain things that stood out to us about Norwegian. And again, like we said, Norwegian Joy is a beautiful ship.
It's gorgeous.
Overall, we made the best out of the situation. We turned our lemon into lemonade, especially when the weather turned for the worse and we ended up having to stay an extra day, even when we had a little bit of rocking. Again, which is why,
that day.
you know, if we didn't mention it already, that was why we didn't get a day 5. Some people in the comments were like, what happened to day 5? The only thing I have a day 5 is some pictures and that little snippet that's on our YouTube channel. So you go ahead and check that out here. All right. Love you so much.
Right.
We was eating French fries. That's day 5, and that was in the afternoon. That wasn't even the whole day.
Yeah, we hit it out on day 5 and we were rocking.
Day 5 was a rocking and rolling, and then again I wasn't feeling well, and I think we took food back to the room and we watched movies all night until we fell asleep. That was day 5. Like, so we are so sorry.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot we
But
could do.
yeah, it wasn't really a lot for us to do, and you know, just trying to maintain battery life with my camera and stuff like that. It was just little things. We were like, it's all right. We're just gonna let the people know, you know, it was nothing we could do. Like,
right. But do we have any regrets?
no, we don't have any regrets.
We needed to be on vacation.
Right. That was, and we say it a lot. Like
I had some time on the balcony.
you
yes.
sure did more than me. But I likes a good bed.
But
Don't I though?
She liked to sleep.
And I did enjoy the sofa.
Yeah, she
Dozed off 1 or 2 times on the sofa in the cabin.
Yes.
Overall, I think the cabin was nice.
Go
ahead.
I need to put that picture on there. I don't think it's on there. When she dozed off outside, we went on the
Really?
She likes a good sleep.
I do enjoy
But
my
it's the sea
sleep.
breeze. That's what
And the
it
bed
is.
was comfortable for the most part.
We were on the, what is it? The when you go outside and you walk around, what do you call it again? The waterfront.
The waterfront, okay.
Thank you. And she fell asleep on the waterfront on me.
Oh, that's right. That's that picture that everyone likes.
Yes, she's just getting
and
a snooze on.
I sure did. 1 minute we were talking, and the next minute I was
Right.
knocked out.
He was snoozing. So yeah, I mean, just saying that that's what we needed to be on a cruise. And
Yeah, that was the main
in spite
purpose.
of our you know, we have our pros and in spite of the cons and
Yeah.
stuff, the things we didn't like. To me, it's going to be that with anything in life. Nothing is 100% perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think on every cruise we've been on, we probably could tell you cons that we've had. But all in all, the Norwegian Joy is an absolutely beautiful ship.
It really is.
And would we go again? Yes, we
Yeah,
would.
I would love to experience it again.
You know, to get the full effect. Because as we said, as the video started, I don't want to get too, you know, over time. But as we said, as the video started, due to the weather concerns and the wind on and off rain, there were a lot of things that we could not do and see on the ship itself because of the weather, because it's out, you know, it's a cruise. Things are outside.
Yeah.
You know, mini golf, laser tag, you know.
Yeah, they made an announcement telling us like we can't go outside. Yeah,
shut down because it's too windy.
Too
'Cause
windy.
I think at one point it was down because it was windy, and then we
No wonder why
had
falling off.
rain, and there's things we just couldn't do because of the weather.
Because of
So the disappointment, as we already said, was the lack. We feel the lack of entertainment indoors because everybody sort of gravitated to deck 6. You know, to in that area, that atrium area with the screen and the music, you know,
Right.
the dang music and the thing.
Right. And then, you know, before we end the video, we have to share our opinion. Like when it was time for us to leave the ship to go home to New York, wasn't the best. We have to say
No,
the
it wasn't the
communication
best.
was
It was
just
the worst.
horrible. I was very disappointed. It was like they forgot about us. It was like, all right, it's time to go get off.
the best way you can.
Just get off the best way you can. We was asking passengers questions. Like I just felt like they could have did
horrible. Oh, I've never seen.
We didn't hear any
anything like that.
announcements about your bag getting checked. You know, usually you can get a ticket and put your bag so they could take the bag off for you. We just happened to come across it, and I said, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, when they was gonna tell us about that?"
And the only thing we heard, the people, I guess, that managed to get the little numbers for the bag, I think at that point it didn't matter.
No,
Because when they when they made the announcement, number decks this one of people who have such and such number come. If you don't have it, please do not come down to, please. You know,
people was not listening.
They were already aggravated because they're a day late getting home.
Yeah.
So they could care less what number was
People was
supposed
just
to go
ready to
before
get
that.
off.
It was a mess. It was like everybody in the cruise ship was on the deck trying to get off at
Yep.
the same time.
Yep.
And that's almost no exaggeration. And when the elevator came down, they were packed in there.
We
like
barely could get
sardines.
off.
We couldn't even get on. Never mind off.
Oh, I'm thinking that's what you said when we got on
When
floor.
the elevator came, you
Both
know, and you
ways,
said,
yeah.
well, can we go down to deck such and such to get off the ship?
We just kept pressing the button until we found an elevator we could get on, because we decided to take our own luggage. Usually, y'all know we don't do that. Usually, we'll have our luggage already pre-packed, and they'll take it for
Put it
us.
in the corridor.
We didn't see no suitcases in the corridor.
People was ready to die. But
None.
my thing too is that the way Norwegian ships are designed, the corridors are so narrow.
Very narrow.
I don't see, and all the rooms entries are all really on one side,
That's true.
and the railing is on the other side.
I didn't think about that.
There's not rooms on both sides like there are on carnival ships. that
It's
I'm
one
accustomed to.
side. That's
And
right.
that makes the corridor very narrow. So I don't even see how you could put your luggage outside your room. Well, because they are set in a little bit. The rooms are set in, but still, if you have more than one bag, it's not going to all fit in front of your door.
Exactly.
You know, so that was very negative.
Yeah, but
way.
but again, we didn't want to end this video without sharing that part.
Yeah.
Disembarking was terrible. Like, we were just ready to get off. We just went with the flow. We just had to do what we had to do.
It's just we're so grateful that we didn't have plane to catch, so we didn't have that stress.
Exactly.
We didn't have that stress on us.
Nope.
It's just the crowd and it got a little better. It took a while, you know, as we were walking. I mean, the what do you call it? The direction or whatever the line going. We would walk around the whole ship to go.
And at first I got nervous. I was like, oh, we got to go down steps. And then I was like, oh no, we just got to go around the bar. And
people were going down steps because they couldn't get on the elevator.
But I mean, at the point where we had to get off, when we finally got to
right. We just had to stretch the line out.
Yeah, and then we realized that it was still more to go through the casino. I was like, my God. And then once we got out and we made it into the terminal in New York, thank God the lady was nice and allowed us to take the elevator so that we can just get to the street.
The elevator that took us right down.
And we just, you know, made it out, and then we just walked until we can hail a cab, because we took a cab, obviously. And that was pretty much it.
And the bottom line,
no, go ahead, mommy.
Bottom line is, we were glad we went.
We were glad we went. It was, like my mother said, it was needed. The main purpose of the trip was because it was long overdue. We wanted to get out of New York. We needed to regroup. We needed our mind to refresh, rejuvenate. We just needed a different environment.
Yes.
Especially going through the whole pandemic, stuck in the house, losing loved ones. Just everybody just needed a reset.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much what we did. And you guys know, every year, if God says the same, we try to be consistent and cruise every year. That's something we committed to doing.
Yes.
But not being able to do that for 3 years, that was a lot for us. And watching everybody else take risks and go on trips and stuff.
You gotta
put your mask on.
Sure
you gotta wear your mask on the pool. Like, no, we didn't want to travel like that. We didn't want to travel like that. You drink your, what you said? You
drink your water.
Like, we just didn't want to travel like that. And we heard God say, don't settle. Just be patient and just wait. And then that's when things started getting a little better with the COVID. And we made a decision to plan this trip. Yeah. And we decided to do a 4-day because there was nothing really leaving from New York, from Carnival, that we really wanted to do. So,
but you know, and it's just that it didn't take much for us to make the decision that we're not going to do this, even if we can get on a cruise at a certain time, even as the pandemic was waning. Okay, so you know, we just didn't want to cruise that way, so we're glad to have gone.
Yeah, at the end of the day, when we went. Again, sorry this video is a little long, but we miss you guys. We wanted to make sure we got this video in before the year. We in December, y'all.
Yes.
We came back in September.
Sorry.
Baby, with work and church and other personal stuff, new schedule, it was just like being under the weather a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, let's do it today and let's knock it out. I'm going to make sure we're going to get this video to our loving OMDC family as quickly as possible. So we appreciate y'all. We hope you appreciate our perspective of our first time on the Norwegian Joy. We hope this video was helpful to those of you who are curious or who might be considering traveling on the Norwegian Joy because you yourself have never been. So we hope our content from our trip, including this video, was helpful and informative to you.
Yes.
We always do our best to be fair and honest because we want the same when we look at other people's videos. We want that to be reciprocated. So we appreciate y'all. Anything else we left out? I mean, like I said, we had a great time. Yeah, we turned lemon into lemonades. we laugh at each other.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's like
really it. That's really
it's
it,
really
you
it.
know, I mean, because even with the hurricane
it's
and all
like,
other stuff, we're glad we went, and it was something we needed to do.
At the end of the day,
we expressed our pros and our cons.
Yeah.
As we said, would we go on that ship again? Yes,
we would definitely go again.
Would we go to Bermuda again? Yes, we would.
Yeah,
we feel
we
like
kept saying we might need a do-over.
Yeah, we kept call it a do-over, and we would. So you know,
we was gonna ask them that. Remember, we said we should ask them.
Oh, do you think we? Well, we can still ask them.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Because we see something in the
We didn't see Bermuda the way we wanted to either time, because both times we dealt with a hurricane in one way or another.
And then we stayed
This was the worst scenario.
This was the worst scenario. But there's
we
an
go
opportunity that we may be able to go, but we're trying to see if we should or not. So we wanted to know your opinion. Sorry, phone. Like, do y'all think we should give Bermuda on? What is it? It's the same ship, the same destination, the same time of year.
I think I did see something
Right?
like that. Yes.
Do y'all think we should do it again?
Should we do it?
Let us know. We need to know quick so we could start preparing ourselves. It's obviously next year.
Yes, next year.
So we were trying to think if y'all will be interested in seeing us go
They're
again.
gonna do that again. But like she said, as we close, I know we gotta close.
We gotta close out, but yeah.
We have no regrets.
No.
About scheduling a cruise during that time. And we would definitely go again.
It's just like it's the same exact situation. But praying that this time we won't have the bad weather.
Right.
So we wanted y'all's opinion. We value it, and we're gonna bring you content so we don't be like, didn't they just do this last year?
Well, if we go and the weather is awesome, it would be different.
It would be different content, right? Because now we can do excursions and we can do other things. So we didn't get our fish sandwich. I mean,
that was recommended on someone's video I watched.
We had some eateries we were gonna go to.
Yes, we didn't get to explore the port.
We didn't get to explore the port
because we would have had enough time to do that.
Yes,
with 2 days.
Because usually on the port is big, so they have like shopping and stuff. We didn't do any of that because of the weather. So leave a comment down below and let us know. Do you think we should give this experience a do-over next year? Because we do see an opportunity for the exact same trip.
Yes, we do.
All right, now. Time is of the essence. We don't want to bore you guys, but thank you all for who stuck it out for this long video. Because even when I edit, it's still probably going to be a little long. Because we said, yeah, who cares? You love us, don't you guys?
Do part 2. You could do a part 2.
Maybe. We'll see when I edit how it comes out.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my best, y'all. I
She's
know professional. I do the best that I can.
I would help her.
I told mommy, just Google and just you gotta
anyway.
Well, all right. You see how she just threw me to the car? All right, you guys. So as always, what? Baby girl. Anyway, thank y'all for sticking it out for this video and just hearing us chat about our experiences. We love y'all. We didn't forget about possibly working on some merch. Just keep praying for us. We want it to be right. And thank you again for your subscriptions, y'all. We just celebrated 500 subscribers, and we done surpassed that in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Like as soon
took a while, but it took off. But thank you.
Yeah. So we wanted to say thank you for supporting. Welcome to all of our new OMDC family. We love you guys. And as always, just remember that Jesus loves you, and so do we. Bye, guys. And happy holidays. Yes. If we don't talk to you guys later, have a happy, and blessed holiday. We love you guys. We gotta do a thumbnail.
Put that on. Put that on.